Hey, this is Bob Leonetti, and I'm standing here with my good buddy Scott Carson. Scott's one of my students, and we're standing in front of a house that you're going to love to hear about. I'm going to let Scott tell you a little bit about it. But basically, he got into this property, he made a whole bunch of money, never even owned it, really. So anyway, with that having been said, Scott's going to hand me the camera, and we're going to take pictures of Scott there. So there he is. There's Scott.
Hey, everybody. If you take a look here at this house, where we're at here in Austin is in a really nice little kind of retro area called Zilker Park, downtown Austin, and it's got a lot of rehabs going on. Well, I came across this property about 6 months ago. Needed some rehab. The owner of it was behind on payments, and we looked at it. He was doing some rehab himself and ran out of money. So we stepped in, did some comps, figured out that the property with the repairs that need to be made to it would be worth about $600 to $650 conservatively. He was into it for about $290 plus back payments. He wanted to walk away. So we were able to basically step into it. The whole intention was not to do the rehab ourselves, but to go ahead and flip the contract with those kind of spreads. You know, we were picking up the property for just over 50 cents on the dollar. So we stepped in. We were going to do a simultaneous close with another investor. You know, we got into it for about $316 is what we finally negotiated down with the banks. We were going to flip it for around $370, do a simultaneous close, and put cash in our pocket right away and walk away. But the other investor fell out at the closing table. Fortunate for us, we had done some background work and gotten some private money in line to help us go ahead and borrow the rehab money in case something like that were to happen. So we were able to, you know, sit down with a private investor, get some money to do the rehab. We went ahead and closed on the purchase of the property by taking over the first subject to, borrowing the money, the rehab money to go and do the repairs, which would be about 50 to 75K is what we needed. So we walked out of closing with a check for $77,000.
And Scott, you've got a copy of that closing statement right here too, right?
Exactly.
So when you bought the property, basically, we're going to show the closing statement. And actually, when you go to the website, folks, you can see this all up close, and we'll show you exactly how to do this. But when you bought the property, you put $77,000. I'm sorry, $77,000. Is that right?
So we walked out of closing with a check for $77,000, which included rehab money on that.
Really, can I see that real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to see with this camera, but it's $77,666.76, and it's on the bottom line, cash to borrower. That was cash to you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you bought this house, and you put 77 grand in your pocket when you bought it.
Exactly.
And it looks like this. And folks, I don't know if you can see that. We're going to walk by the house. Obviously, there's a lot of rehab going on. You bought the house to rehab it?
We bought the house to rehab it. It wasn't in this condition. It was in a lot better condition. Original wood floors. It was a 2,100 square foot house, 3-2, big master suite. As we go to the back, it had a double carport, which is unusual for this area of Austin. We were going to basically, when we bought it and decided at closing to do the rehab, we were going to take that double carport and turn it into a huge master suite, master bath, and really jack the price up your square footage wise. That's where we got the 650 in value. But we were fortunate enough that we had done enough research on it. We started marketing it to our list of wholesalers, and we had, once we closed on it, we had a buyer ready to close the following week.
Really, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's take us through the house. Sure.
It was the original floor is the floor plan's at 1,700 square foot.
Right.
There is a second story media room of about 500 square feet. You can't really see here.
That's up over here. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, it had original hardwood floors. The original owner had put in really nice ceramic tile in the kitchens. Custom built the wood cabinets. He was a bit of a band guy. He actually had dreads down to his ankles. His dreadlocks were that long. Really?
So, and yet, you know, you said there's beautiful floors, but we can look in the house right here, and I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it looks like the whole house has been stripped out. The foundation's been raised. Raised up a little bit at least, and you can see looking through this whole house that it's completely under reconstruction. And you guys didn't do this construction, right?
We didn't do this construction. The new investor we sold the property to, his idea, he's a builder. He builds about 100 homes a year.
Okay.
What he ran into, his contractors completely gutted the property, did way too much demolition to it.
Right.
And we're 6 months now after we closed on it, and it's still in this situation.
So you got your money, you're gone, and he's still into this whole thing 6 months later, and it's still in this kind of condition, which means it's costing him money every single day.
Exactly.
And it didn't cost you that, though.
Didn't cost me anything, because what we did is we closed 30 days afterwards. We actually had to show up to closing with a check. because we sold it for right around $370, and we'd borrowed close to $400.
Right.
So we showed up with a check for $38,000, which would make it us netting right at about $40K.
So basically, you put $77 and almost $78,000 in your pocket when you bought the property.
That's correct.
And then you didn't do anything to it.
Nope.
You just flipped it to somebody else, and you had to write a check at closing out of your 78 that
That's
you
correct.
had to get the deal done.
That's correct.
But you sold it to somebody else. They've got all the headaches, and you had to write a check for, what'd you say?
$38,000.
38 grand. So ultimately, you kept $40,000 in profit.
Right.
And how long did it take you to make that 40,000?
Less than 30 days.
30 days. Did you have any money in the deal up front on yourself?
I had $100, basically $100 in the option fee in the front end.
So for $100, you made 40 grand in
That's
30
correct.
days?
Yeah.
Wow, that
Yeah.
rocks. Now you must have a lot of experience in the business, and
This is one of our one of my wife's and I's first deals. We have no experience. I was a bartender in college. Graduated from Party College, which is a simple business degree. Was a banker for several years with Chase. Don't have a lot of experience. My parents weren't investors. They were mom and pop, just normal folks.
Right.
5 years ago, my wife and I tried to get into investing, and we had a rental property and lost our shirt. I mean, we had no credit, we had no savings, but we did this with $100, basically, just from a lot of the teachings that I've learned and being mentored, being one of Bob's students in a lot of the creative techniques to put money in our pocket without having to put anything out of it.
so Scott, you and I both have talked about the fact that we're going to teach people how to do this for free.
Exactly.
We want them to learn how to do this. I know there's a lot of other real estate instructors out there who say, "Oh, we did this, but you got to pay us a ton of money to learn how to do it." We want to be different here.
Right.
So we can go to a website. The website is
realestateprofitcoach.com.
realestateprofitcoach.com. Go to the website, look it up, and Scott will go through the deal step by step.
Step by step, we'll outline it exactly what we did from A all the way to Z.
So the marketing and everything like that will be
Exactly.
on it. And they're going to learn how you can take $100 and turn it into $40,000
Exactly, in 30
in
days.
30 days. Hey, congratulations, man.
Thanks, Bob.